Xenoblade Chronicles X. I can't think of any other title other than Zelda U that I'm most hyped for. And why not? It looks phenomenal. It's gorgeous, gravity-defying and gluttonously gargantuan. It looks like it takes everything that was great about Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii and multiplies it by 10. It's epic. It has a 2015 release date and you'll only find it on the Wii U. Here I'll be discussing my thoughts and observations about the upcoming game. If anyone wants to stay spoiler-free, now would be a good time to walk away. For everyone else, let's start the discussion. In order to get a good understanding of what direction X will probably go, we need to go back to where it all began. Xenoblade was a game that never seemed to concern itself with limitations. Underpowered hardware? Could have fooled me. What Monolith Soft succeeded in crafting was more than just a return to form for the Japanese RPG. It transcended beyond the limits of genre and medium as a piece of modern fiction to successfully pose complex ethical, philosophical and theological questions without having the audience's heads explode. So what does this have to do with X exactly? Well, everything really. It's about context. Xenoblade's world plants the seeds for X's universe in profound and pivotal ways. Xenoblade's particular universe was the product of gods, or to be specific, the will of two individuals who acquired the power of divinity as a result of a science experiment that destroyed the universe as we know it. The god Zanza and goddess Lady Meyneth emerged from the wreckage of the old world to create a new one. Two titans above an endless ocean, Zanza's Bionis and Meyneth's Mechonis. These giants became home to countless lifeforms that evolved through the ages to become sentient beings. Bionis was rich in diversity of life from the human-like Homs to the Nopon. Mechonis had its own evolved civilization that was technologically advanced. Meyneth was content to allow these lifeforms to live their lives as they saw fit, to define their own destiny. Zanza, on the other hand, saw things differently. Bionis is a living entity, and the building block of that life is ether. Everything from the largest beast to the tiniest plant cell lives and dies by it. It's a cycle that Mechon and even Zanza require to live. The exploration of life forms on Bionis provides Zanza with sustenance. He feared a day when he could be abandoned by his creation, and without ether, he would cease to exist. Complicating things further was while Zanza may have been all-powerful, he was isolated from meaningful connection. Knowledge of him began to fade over time, and this was something he found to be unacceptable. Deep down, he longed for friendship, but this desire would have severe consequences for the life forms on both Titans. Zanza envisioned a universe in a perpetual cycle of destruction and rebirth so that he could remain relevant and live on forever. The group of characters in Xenoblade led by protagonist Shulk rejected this view. They wanted to live their lives in peace, and they would fight for their right to exist. Even with the ethereal power of foresight, Zanza was blind to such threats. As far as he was concerned, it was his godly prerogative to do whatever he wanted with what he had created. He was life, and anyone who disagreed should be given death. Meyneth was the first to learn this when Zanza had the Bionis launch a surprise attack on the Mechonis. Meyneth countered and a costly battle was waged that eventually resulted in a stalemate. The initial battle was over, but the war continued by proxy with the worlds battling it out for eons with no end in sight. Zanza's plan had failed. Battle-worn and weakened, he was imprisoned for his crimes. With his flesh shackled, and his soul recouping strength in the blade of creation, the Monado, Zanza was biding his time to finish what he had started. Opportunity presented itself when a Homs expedition discovered the Monado. Zanza sapped everyone at their life force and possessed a young boy whose parents he had just slain. Zanza lay dormant in this body until the boy would come of age. That boy grew up to be Shulk. When the time came, Zanza re-emerged and once again battled with Meyneth. Meyneth initially fought, but chose to sacrifice herself to save Shulk and his companions. With Zanza now rid of his biggest obstacle, he finally succeeded in destroying the Mechonis. But all was not lost, for Zanza had unwittingly planted the seeds to his own destruction. From the moment he possessed Shulk's body, a third deity was born. Shulk was that new god. He had his own visions for the future, and it didn't involve Zanza. The choice was made that day to live in a world without the need for gods. This decision is central to what the universe of X will be. What exactly?